band started about around 6 years ago, and well, it was a completely different lineup. A lot's changed since, but yeah, I mean, it kind of started off me listening to like a lot of Weatherbox and Manchester Orchestra and Mansions, and kind of I wanted to make something in that realm. So I think like sonically it started off that way, but then over time I've learned to like pop music more, and that a lot of different influences came in.
Where did you first start hearing about music?
I mean, from my dad when I was a kid. It had to be it. And I just remember listening to like a lot of Rage Against the Machine with him driving. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to play music.
Was that the first kind of stuff you got into, or what were some of the...
Well, I mean, I guess gateway into this world, like I just went to my first Warped Tour when I was 13, Warped Tour 2003. And like I got into Ting Back Sunday, Newfound Glory, Coheed, and kind of got a good mix of everything.
Were there any favorite records that... I mean, you mentioned a couple bands, but was there one record that, was bigger than the others?
I mean, yeah, it was. Sadly, it was definitely brand new.
Why'd you say sadly?
It just seems like the typical answer.
No, it's not. No. Here's the thing: there's bands from a certain era of the '90s all say Fugazi, and then it transitions into brand new. I mean, there's actually a pocket, a few of those, so that is not a bad answer at all.
Yeah, man. I just remember hearing that record for the first time being like, this is just cool. What I thought was cool at the time.
What were some of the, travels when you were sort of making music?
When I was a kid, I played drums up until I was 18. And then on my 18th birthday, I was like, I want to get a guitar and start writing music. So my parents took me to the store and bought me this guitar for my birthday. And I wrote an entire record. And then after like a few years after that, I was like, oh, I'm going to start a band. Like it wasn't anything. Like I'm still a terrible guitar player. I'm not good at all, but it's just crazy how that evolved. I still write everything. I like that. That's something I pride myself on, is that I'm a really good songwriter. I'm not great at guitar, but I also know that I could never work a mic stand or like work a crowd. So I had to have something to do. So just like when we write music, it's still all me. I'd pick out everything.
Do you feel a lot of pressure doing that?
No, not really. I mean, well, on this most recent record, the entire band departed. So, like, I'm the sole member now. We had an amicable split, and kind of just, I went in the studio with my writing buddy, is what I like to call him. And then I went in with Brian McTernan, who's done a bunch of great records, and Paul Levitt. We kind of just wrote as if we were a band. But, like, it was just a lot of free thinking going on and making random songs come out of nowhere.
What were some of your favorite Mick Turnan records?
My absolute favorite would have to be like Juturna, but like Circuit Survive. I don't know. Other than that, he's done a lot of Thrice records that I love. He's just done everything. And if you meet him, like he's one of the best songwriters that you'll ever meet. Whenever we sit down in the studio and write, I look at him and he's really not a good musician at all, but he can sit and write a better song than anyone else you know.
I did a nerdy thing when I had to send him some stuff when I was at EVR. I had to send him some stuff in the mail, and it was UPS, and I put his name, and then I put every band he was in as part of the name.
Oh, my God.
So I put Ashes and, Battery and all these things, and, he never responded, and I was like, God, I made such a dork.
Dude, did you listen to the new Battery song?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it was badass.
Yeah, man. That's an interesting, thing for you to have everybody sort of leave and then come. Do you feel that when you the guys that you tour with, is that something that they're, not necessarily hired, but is it sort of they know the deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is all still new for me. We're all hanging out right now, but I mean, they're friends and they want to be on the road, and a lot of them are in bands or were from bands that kind of stopped touring or are slowing down now. So. And they love Have Mercy, so it kind of works out. I'll keep them around forever because I've toured with these guys before in different bands, and they're a lot of fun.
How have you felt about the business of music as you've gotten into it? You've gotten a couple records, you've got a couple labels under your belt. How have you felt about the business?
I personally really enjoy it. I mean, there's always some things that, irk me, but I know that there's a lot that goes into making records and making bands big, and I get a lot of the stuff that happens, but I enjoy the business side. I'd love to work eventually in the industry.
When did you first hear the word emo?
It had to be around when My Chem's first record came out, because that record was just getting or that word was getting thrown around so much. I remember going to school and some girl was wearing a My Chemical Romance t-shirt and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm emo now." And I was like, it sounded cool then, and now I hear it and I'm like, "Oh God, that sounds ridiculous." But we were like 14. I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to be emo too." We all used to go to this church in Maryland, and it was called Woods Memorial Church, and that's where all the bands would play back in the day. Like All Time Low used to play there, Good Charlotte used to play there, and then just a ton of local bands. So we all like used to go there and watch these bands and trade cool like new bands that we heard or shit we're listening to. It was awesome.
What are your feelings toward it now?
The word's just funny to me now because like I don't know, like when I was on Washed Up Emo, and then the first time I looked it up, it said that we weren't emo, but now it says that we are. But like I'm still fine with it. Like I'm not a huge fan of genres in general, so like call it what you want.
The Is This Band Emo, which you're referring to, is there's people that like decide and like they sort of there's debates. So there's actually an email chain of people that.
Oh really?
Yeah, and so it's like sent. It's like nothing's really. It's like really fluid. And that's
interesting.
And so I think there's debates and things change over time, and again that site was literally $10 and I thought it was a really funny idea. Do you feel that sometimes? Because that's the thing, it's like bands run away from this word.
It's a thing, like, and if the majority of people are saying that you're lumped in with this, then I mean you can't really say you're not. Like that's how things are decided.
So how did the stuff with Hopeless come together?
One of the A&R guys there just came out to a show that we were playing in LA to see another band that was on the bill and called us, and we met up outside and we were talking. We were like, "Hey, our deal with Top Shelf's done." And they were like, "All right, let's talk." And Monday morning hit and we were on the phone and things just were there.
How was the last record cycle?
The last record cycle I wasn't happy with. I wasn't happy with the record in general.
How come?
I just didn't think it was our best work. And we were going through a lot of stuff at the time and all of our heads weren't there. And we got rid of a drummer who had a lot of health issues, and there's just so much going on. So like, I don't think the songwriting was there at all. I wasn't writing about things I wanted to write about. I was just forcefully putting out a record. So like this new one, we took 7 months to do, and like, I'm so stoked with it.
What was the big difference having that much time?
I don't know. Like actually being able to work out every little part of a song and making sure that every like harmony was good and every single note on the leads were perfect. Like we overthought it, but it ended up being exactly what we wanted.
One of my favorites, I think is a lot of people's favorites, but Coexist.
Well, that song, me and my writing buddy were hanging out at our practice space and like started playing this riff and we were like, that's kind of stupid. And then we just kept jamming on it, wrote more and more parts, just so fast, and then it just came about. Like I think it's just a banger, and we wanted to have that like hard hitting first single like rock song.
Track 3.
Yeah, we had to have one of those, and we even had like a big banger for a little bit, so we had to have it. Every song like needed to serve a purpose. So like when we were going to write like a big ballad or like going to write like a big rock song, we just all pick out and start playing like our favorite big rock songs or favorite ballads. And we were like, well, why is this one so good? Or like, what makes the chorus in this one pop so much? And we kind of just like bounce ideas back and forth. But we all kind of stay away from listening to music whenever we're in the studio. We had the new A Will Away record, which I love, if you know that band.
Yes.
So we were banging that a lot. Creeper, the band from the UK, we were listening to them a lot. There's a few things, nothing crazy. I listen to like a lot of pop now. I feel like as I grow up, I just like pop music.
Like what kind of stuff?
Like legit, like Selena Gomez. Like I'll sit and like listen to it and enjoy the hell out of it. I don't know why.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just fun listening to. And as I get older, I think I'm starting to think I'm a good dancer and I'm terrible. So I'll just listen to pop music and try to dance. I'm terrible. It's garbage.
Everyone can dance.
Yeah, no. I mean, I just want people to actually listen to this record. I feel like we've been a band for, I guess, a little over 6 years now. It's our third record, and I think it's the best that we've done. I think the songwriting is smart. The hooks are there. Like, I just want people to listen to it and give it a chance. That's it.